So, how do you stand up for yourself without being rude? Now that is a very, very difficult question to answer because a lot of people out there today are so sensitive and they can make assumptions very quickly. But at the same time, you don't want to be treated as a doormat every time you talk to somebody. So in this video, we're going to look a little bit into psychology and I'm going to give you 5 tips to stand up for yourself without being rude. Let's get to it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong.
Alright guys, so how do you stand up for yourself without being rude? Well, it's actually part of a communication skill and a behavior. It's called assertiveness. And the good news is that you can learn it. The Oxford Dictionary says assertiveness means the quality of expressing opinions or desires in a strong and confident way so that people take notice. Now that sounds easy when you read it, but if you actually have to implement it and do it, it's not so easy to do in real life for most people. Especially if you don't want to come across as rude or arrogant, because we know that nobody likes arrogant people. That's full of pride. So let me explain this to you in more detail of how you can stand up for yourself without being a jerk. Be straightforward but kind. Now this might be tough for people who want other people to like them all the time, even at the cost of themselves. But listen to me very, very carefully now. Not everybody in the world will like you, and that is okay. You need to understand that people have different beliefs, different cultures. People are different, and so they won't always agree with you or like you. And you need to, number 1, expect it to happen. Number 2, accept that it is okay. So be straightforward and tell people how you feel about something, but do it in a kind way. Now remember not to attack them when you feel threatened. Calm yourself and just be straightforward while you respect the other person. Don't try to beat around the bush because you will look soft and easy to walk over. And it will also be very hard for people to really understand you. Stand up for your beliefs while you also respect other people's views. But make sure that your beliefs are in the right place and then stand firm. Because the way we live our lives come from our beliefs. And it's always wise to be open-minded and to listen to what other people believe. Because then we also grow and we learn, but never ever let anybody else push their beliefs on you. For example, in my early 20s, I became a reborn Christian. And I've met a lot of people since then in the entertainment industry who do not share my beliefs. But I stayed confident and true to who I am, while I also gave them the opportunity to also share their opinions. And many of them also became my friends over the years. I also recently started a second channel, my new channel called DLM Christian Lifestyle, where I talk about my beliefs. And I got a lot of good responses from people on this channel, but also a lot of negative ones. But you know, I don't know how I will be able to live with myself if I don't stand up for what I believe. For what I believe is right and true. We should never feel attacked or offended when we talk to other people about our beliefs. We're all free to make our own decisions, and we should be able to talk to each other about it in a peaceful way. Now, if you give other people the opportunity to share their own beliefs, they will usually also hear you out as well. Then, when you do speak to them, show respect towards them while you discuss your own beliefs and worldviews. You gotta know when to stand your ground and when to back down. You have to learn when to pick the right battles and at what time. Because sometimes people are just stubborn and they just bullheaded for the sake of winning. So, when you realize this, that you're in this situation, say something that the other person doesn't expect at all.
Have you had the haircut?
Yes.
And change the conversation, or just walk away gracefully. Or you can just find some middle ground where you say, hey, okay, look, I like you, but we're not gonna agree. Let's just agree to disagree. Don't be a bully, because nobody likes a bully, not even you. I mean, it's okay to stand your ground, to stand up for yourself, but the way you do it needs to be done in a calm, confident, and humble way. And the moment you let your emotions run wild is the moment when you lose yourself and you also lose the other person's respect. And then your emotional action usually results in their reaction. And before you know it, you're just in a screaming match and it just gets worse and worse and worse. You can never get your way by being too aggressive. And even if you do, the other person will hate you for it. And if you're not a bully, don't waste your time on bullies. If another person is rude or aggressive towards you, a kind word puts like cold ice water on their hot heads. And it usually stuns them for a while because you look unaffected by any of their harsh words. For example, if somebody raises their voice and they try to be verbally abusive, I never ever respond in the same way. I smile just a little bit to show them that I'm unaffected, and I respond kindly by saying something like, "Wow man, I like you, but you got some crazy issues, so I'm just gonna let you be a little bit, so you're just a little bit alone, and I'll see you later." And then I usually walk away, and I don't let it affect me at all. Why? Because the most instinctive way to respond to a verbal abuser is to try and reason with them. Because if somebody says something like, "You're a loser," or "You're childish," your first impulse would be to defend yourself, to say, "No, it's not like that," or to tell them that they are wrong. But if you do that, you also expect the verbal abuser to be a normal person that listens to your reasoning as well. But that's just it. That's the problem. The fact is that you cannot reason with a verbal abuser or a bully. So you need to lift yourself above the situation by showing them that you're unaffected by their insults, and so you show them that you're clearly on another level. Now this is very important, so listen up. You never ever have to tolerate other people that treat you poorly. And you know, there's actually something that's more important than just standing up for yourself. What is it? Well, strong people stand up for themselves, but stronger people stand up for others. Cheers, guys.